Salutations, second graders. Welcome to Math, Lesson 19 on our mobile learning platform, Equivalent Fractions. Boys and girls, we should be on page 287, 288 in our math packet. It looks like this. Go ahead and get it out and get ready. Here we are, friends. Okay, so we are getting our feet wet with fractions. I don't want you to be worried if they're hard for you. I want you to hang in there and work with us, and we will see how we do. This is just getting us ready. We're going to be doing fractions again next year in third grade, and we will get a little more familiar with them. So here we go, friends. Equivalent fractions. Read with me the blue square on the page. A scientist recorded that 1/2 of the wallabies in an Australian animal park had joeys, which are baby wallabies. If there were 12 wallabies, how many of them had joeys? Now, boys and girls, here's where we get to deal with inverse operations, and we get to deal with division and multiplication and fractions. Now, don't worry, we'll be fine. Pay attention. Here we go. We're going to ask ourselves, what number can we divide 12 by to get 2? Well, so this is called a backwards C, and you'll learn more about that as we move on in math. But backwards C means we're going to divide this way, and we're going to come up over the top, and we're going to multiply whatever we find in the bottom here to get our answer, so we can find out what the equivalent fraction is. So dividing 12 by 2, we get 6. So then we're going to put 6 times 1 is 6. So half is equivalent to 6/12. And if I check on the rectangles on my paper, that's exactly what I end up with, is 6/12. 6 of the 12 wallabies have joeys. So since 1/2 and 6/12 are the same amount, excuse me, then half is equal to 6/12. They are called equivalent fractions. So they want us to use models to identify equivalent fractions. And if you take a look, they gave us the same size rectangle, and they cut one into sixths and one into thirds. And they went ahead and showed us that 1/3 is equal to 2/6. Then they showed us that 1/4 is equal to 2/8. Friends, we'll go over that a little bit more in just a moment with my fraction pizzas. Let's go ahead and take a look. Using our backwards C method, they're going to want us to do the work on the paper. So we'll do number 1 together in just a moment. Let me go ahead and stop sharing this and take a look at my fraction pizzas. So this pizza is cut into fourths. We're only concerned with the green lines. So this one and this one. So I'm looking at one pizza that's cut into fourths. Okay, here I'm, whoops, wrong way, Mrs. Mueller. Here I'm looking at a pizza that is cut into eighths, just like it showed us. If you're looking at my pizzas, can you see that 2/8 is equivalent to 1/4? You can see it. That's why I left the dotted lines on there, so you can see on the 1/4, if I were to cut diagonally across the same pizza, I'd end up with eighths. But if I have 1/4, I have the same as 2/8. If I go the other way and I show you half of my pizza, and a pizza cut into halves and a pizza cut into fourths, then you would see the same thing. Equivalent fractions would be 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. Okay, friends, that's just a little bit of equivalent fractions review or introduction. Let's go ahead and take a look at our paper a little longer. Ready? Here we go. All right, so we're going to practice now the backwards C method that we went over at the top of the page. So, using multiplication and division to find equivalent fractions, we're going to shade in the fraction strips to check our answer. So first we start by dividing, and it's showing us that 2/5 is equivalent to how many tenths? Well, if we say 10 divided by 5 gives us what, second graders? Can you tell me, Giovanni? 10 divided by 5 is 2. Good. So then we're going to say 2, which is the numerator, times 2, which is the answer we got over here, is equal to what? What's 2 times 2, second grade? 4 is our answer, right? Good job. So let's fill in our numbers down here where they want them. We have 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So the answer, friends, is that 2/5 is equivalent to 4/10. Now we have to shade the fraction strip. So this strip is cut into 5, so we're only going to shade 2, 2/5. And this one's cut into tenths. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 10 are shaded. Okay? Good job, second graders. Moving on. We're going to do the same steps in order to divide the ninths into 3 equal groups and shading 2 of the groups. Then we have to fill in the blanks. So, doing our backwards C, 9 divided by 3 is 3. Going across this way, we multiply. What's 2 times 3? 6 is the answer, right? Now, can we check our work by looking, because they were so nice that they gave us the rectangles to check it on? Let's do it. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, here's 6. 6 out of 9. Did I do a good job? Okay, so let's go ahead and fill in our blanks here. 9 divided by 3, we said was 3. We bring the 3 down here to show 2 times 3 equals 6. Okay, friends, so far, so good. Don't forget to color in the rectangle. All right, no worries, friends. We're doing a good job. Just stay with me a little longer. Here we go. We're going to divide the tenths into 5 equal groups, shading 3 of those groups, and then we will fill in the blanks. Are you ready? So 3/5 is equal to how many tenths? What's my first step for my backward C? Valentina, going this way, I'm going to divide. Good, so 10 divided by 5 is what? 2 is correct. So I'm going to put the 2 here. I'm also going to put it up here because I know my next step in the backward C is to go up here. We're going to multiply. 3 times 2 is what, friends? 6. Let's see if we did it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3/5 is equivalent to 6/10. All right, second graders, awesome possum job. Move us along. We are going to keep going using the backwards C method. I'm going to just let you work on these. I will come back and go over them with you in just a few minutes, but before I do, let's finish up with the instructions, okay? The last thing they want you to do today on our worksheet is to complete the fractions and solve. Boys and girls, this is a word problem, so I'll do it with you. It says 1/3 of the third graders wear glasses. If there are 15 students in the class, how many wear glasses? Well, let's start with the question. It says how many of them wear glasses? It tells us we have 1/3 of the third graders and that we have 15 whole in our whole group, right? So we're talking about 1/3 is equivalent to how many of the 15 wear glasses, right? So far, so good? I know fractions are new. You're doing fine. Let's work on that using our backwards C method. I'm changing my pen color so you can see. We're going to start here and go backwards. First thing we do is divide. What's 15 divided by 3? 15 divided by 3 is 5. Good. I'm going to write the 5 out here, and then I'm going to put it over here and say 1 times 5 is 5. Good. So the answer would be 5 wear glasses. Good job, second graders. All right, I don't want you to worry. Let's go ahead, stop the video here, and try the backwards C method if it works for you. Here's why we call it the backwards C. You're going to start here and work backwards in the same motion that we make the letter C. Okay, nothing tricky. Just want to make sure you remember and understand why. All right, so we divide here, we multiply here. Ready? Let's look at number 5. First thing we do is say 8 divided by 2 gives us what? 4. So therefore 1 times 4 equals 4. Okay, and they wrote those ones in for us, friends. I want you to go ahead and take a minute. Let's look at these together. 16 divided by 8 gives me 2, right? And I can write it down here. 16 divided by 8 equals 2. And then I'm going to take the 2 up here and I'm going to go 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So far, so good, friends? All right, let's continue. We have 21 divided by 7 is 3. Then we're going to go 3 times 2 is 6. Okay? Alrighty, my friends. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 18 divided by 9 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so just remember when we go the backwards C, we divide, then we multiply in order to get our answer. And this works, when we're dealing with equivalent fractions. Okay, so we go 10 divided by 5 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And 12 divided by 6 is 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. All righty. Sensational, second graders. That will do it for our equivalent fraction lesson. I will post some videos if they're not already up that might help you out a little bit with this. So you should have at least one video by the end of today if it's not there already. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye, friends.